To the sound. To the sound. To the sound. To the sound.
So I had to raise some money. I needed to raise a little more money for, to pay for the lawyer and for things that are going on due to this lawsuit. So I took a job. Things like that. Now, I didn't do any landscaping. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did because, of course, there's stalkers stalking my family like crazy right now, which you guys should know by now. But I did go and do some work, that I could get paid immediately for. So that's why I didn't stream for a bit. And anyway, I wanted to take a break anyway. So I had to raise some money. I needed to raise a little more money for, to pay for the lawyer and for things that are going on due to this lawsuit. So I took a job. Things like that. Now, I didn't do any landscaping. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did because, of course, there's stalkers stalking my family like crazy right now, which you guys should know by now. But I did go and do some work, that I could get paid immediately for. So that's why I didn't stream for a bit. And anyway, I wanted to take a break anyway.
Oh man, I didn't recognize that I had the second one on loop. Sorry about that. That's okay. It was worth watching again. That's a little thing that I just put together last night. That was kind of funny. I have no creative ability. I recognize this. My videos are crap. I get it. I'm okay with that. If you want quality content, go watch Mocking Media. Okay, they're pro. Okay, but anyways, I thought it was funny because it was very apropos. But what's going on when it comes to UNIRock and his lawsuit. So anyways, welcome. I don't have a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff going on today. I know Erin is streaming. She was probably going to be done, I thought, but Erin runs long. And then Veda has a stream coming up in approximately 30 minutes as well. And so I'm going to try to be done by then. I don't have really a lot to talk about. I just want to do a quick stream. I'm going to add this link if you guys want to join. That real quick. Gotta go over here. Let's see here. There we go. And just really kind of quickly get an update on the Johnathan Lee Richards UNIRock lawsuit. Now, I don't have a copy of the response. I don't even have a copy of the lawsuit. I haven't. Maybe do I? No, I don't think. I don't know if I do or don't. Maybe I do. But I don't have a copy of the response. However, I do know where the response is located. Maybe Erin could get a copy. I would assume it's public record. I assume anything you filed. I just recently got a FOIA request that I figured out how to do. I finally figured out how to at least request something. I mean, I don't know. Was it a FOIA request? I guess so. I mean, I requested a court document from something, but it was not related to this, but it was at least something that was you write to the court and you're able to get a document. So I don't see why anybody can't get a copy of this. I just don't have the wherewithal to. So if anybody does get a copy of it, let me know. But as you guys know, Johnathan Lee Richards suing UNIRock for defamation. I know it's crazy that UNIRock defames, slanders, and libels people. Who would have thought? They do just seem so honest over the years. But yeah, he messed with the wrong person, I guess, because Johnathan Lee Richards likes to sue people, and he could do a pro se because he knows about the law a little bit, at least sufficiently enough to initiate a pro se lawsuit for defamation. He filed it way back when on 5/8/2023, apparently, and he tried serving UNIRock, and I guess UNIRock was dodging service, so JLR did the smart thing, and he served his mother. He served it at UNIRock's mom's house, and which is kind of apropos again, because if you remember, UNIRock and his brilliant understanding of the law said that Kyle Curtis was not sued properly because it went to his mom's house and she signed for their service. Well, the court ruled that was proper service, which we knew it was in North Carolina. And I assume the same thing is here in Ohio. Johnathan Lee Richards said that he doesn't even have to acknowledge. Well, I think he said that once he acknowledged, yeah, that's what he said. Once he acknowledged that his mom had the paperwork, service was complete at that point. And I think he was absolutely correct because he's aware of the pending lawsuit. So you can't just avoid service like that. There are ways of doing it. I mean, theoretically, maybe you could do it sufficiently where somebody maybe kind of gives up. But if somebody really, really wants to sue you, they can. And so Johnathan Lee Richards sued him by servicing not just UNIRock, but his mom, and I believe Rachel as well, his wife. So a lot of people have been speculating that they got married so she doesn't have to testify against him in a court. I don't think that's probably the reason. I don't think that's I doubt it because there's ways around that as well, and nobody gets married just for that. I mean, UNIRock's got nothing to lose. He literally has nothing to lose. I mean, what is he being sued for? And so I think that's why Johnathan Lee probably included his father and his mom on the lawsuit as well, because they probably have the assets. Very smart. And if they're enabling him and they're allowing him to stream from their locations, because from what I understand, he does live with his dad. Maybe I'm right or wrong on that, but from what I heard, he lives with his father, not his mom's basement. But if they're enabling him and if certain things are in their name, then they could be held liable. So on what is it, 6/16, UNIRock apparently filed a response to the lawsuit. I don't know what it says, but just, I guess, rumor on the street. And again, this is all speculation. Unlike UNIRock, when I speculate, and nothing wrong with speculating. There are a lot of channels that can speculate. Look, if you speculate, and as long as you say it's speculation, perfectly fine. But give your articulable reason why you think it's the case, right? If you have a justification, give it. If you don't, then yeah, nobody's probably going to take you seriously. And if you're wrong later on, you correct yourself. You say, "Hey, man, I messed up on that one. My speculation was wrong. Let me rehone my hypothesis and formulate a new conclusion." Nothing's wrong with that. That's how you come to, what I would believe eventually is the correct position. I mean, these are not beliefs that are solidified in concrete. They're not knowledge. They're beliefs. Knowledge requires a lot more justification, a lot more conditions such that it has to be true. So these are just mere speculation that in this particular case, I think that UNIRock's defense is something along the lines of either A, my mom said I didn't do it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that's not his defense, although it would be freaking funny, wouldn't it? No, I think his defense is going to be more along the lines of Johnathan Lee Richards obviously has some questionable character qualities, I guess, about him. I don't know the guy. I don't watch him. I have nothing disparaging to say about him. But just from reading up on him a little bit, there are some things relating to his history that I would probably take umbrage with, that I would not agree with in his tactics. But he's apparently moved past a lot of that, and he wants to become more of a solidified journalist and investigative reporter, and good on him. So I think that UNIRock is probably going to go, well, how can I have defamation per se for somebody who doesn't really have the strongest of, I want to phrase this very carefully, I don't even want to say credibility, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? If he has had some issues in the past, then if you're being defamed, what have you lost as far as credibility? Now, I think it's a very poor refutation and motion. Well, answer, that's not a motion, but an answer to the complaint, if that is actually the complaint. Why? Because even if Johnathan Lee Richards is the most morally reprehensible person on the planet, he has a right to not to be defamed. He has a right not to be libeled and slandered. If you put out information that and willfully lie, put out and is willfully not true, then yes, you should be held accountable for that. And depending on how egregious it is, then the greater the degree of accountability. And when you have a platform and you have access to a larger audience, then your degree of accountability should be equal to the level of your influence. For example, the Katie Joy Paulson lawsuit, she's got 300,000, 400,000 subs, whatever, 370 something, whatever it is lately, 360, 370. That's a pretty significant number to have people believe your BS. And when you willfully lie about someone like that, then yes, you should be held accountable, and it should be sufficiently proportional to the amount of damage you've done, even if there is no financial loss or credibility loss, because defamation per se does not require you have financial loss. It just doesn't. What defamation per se means is that you have on its face been defamed. You have been lied about with something which was categorically untrue. There's certain things in the law that on face value, if you say about a person, you can sue for as far as defamation per se. Now, to recuperate losses, then you may have to prove that there are some damages being done, but there are other things, general damages and other damages you can get where you still can have some pretty good financial restitution owed for saying things about a person that willfully are untrue. And again, I'm not a lawyer. Don't take this as any legal advice. I have to have that little disclaimer because it's absolutely the case. But, I think this is all basic law. I don't think anybody's really going to question anything that I have to say on that. But if they do, please, by all means, come on in and let me know. But if that is UNIRock's defense, then it would make sense that Johnathan Lee Richards, not more than about a day more than 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, on 6/30, filed a motion for a summary judgment. Now, again, speculation. The only reason I could think that Johnathan Lee Richards filed for a motion of summary judgment is that he didn't think that the answers provided by UNIRock was sufficient to have any merit to even be adjudicated. If that is the case, if he just said, hey, look, Johnathan Lee Richards is not a good guy, he's done bad things, therefore I cannot be held accountable for anything I said about him, I think that would be something that you just say, you know what, that's not even a defense. But again, apparently his lawyer, he did have a lawyer. He did not file this pro se, and I'll get to the questions in the live chat in a second here. But that would make sense for him to just go, yeah, this is not even a defense, and just file for a motion of summary judgment, which he was going to do anyways if UNIRock didn't file the answer. Now, if you listen to the little clip that I had at the beginning on that little funny little montage of GIFs that I made, and yes, I call it GIFs. That's the way you say it, GIFs. If you want to call it GIFs, fine, but it's to me it's GIFs, and I know that the creator of it called it GIFs, but I can't. I'm sorry. It's just GIFs. It's just, I know he gets really pissed off because I guess it was GIFs, but whatever. But if you listen to it, UNIRock said he had to go out and get a quote job to pay for his legal costs. Now he probably has, if I imagine, no, you know what? I don't think that a person would probably take this case on a fixed retainer. There's just too much, obviously, in a defamation case. I couldn't get a lawyer to take it on a fixed retainer, so I can't imagine he did. So if it's paid by hourly, then just to file an answer, he's already spent a few $1,000s. Just instantly. Now, he's not e-begging out there explicitly. He's doing it subtly. He's doing it covertly. He's like, you don't have to give me money, but hit my PayPal. Help me fight this injustice. And I got to tell you, I look, everybody who's listening, if you ever want to do everybody a favor, give UNIRock money. I'll tell you right now, give him money. Yeah, let him go full on. Let's go to trial. Let this go to jury. He's going to spend a lot more out of pocket in the long run, right? But yeah, I would love to see it adjudicated. I really would. If summary judgment is fine, and it would only be for $50,000, and I'm assuming that Johnathan Lee Richards has the abilities to go after him to collect. I'm still working on my collections. All the paperwork to collect is at the attorney's office, my attorney. So that is still in progress to collect on the non sequitur show lawsuit. I have not given up on that. It's just a lot more paperwork. But I would rather see it be adjudicated. I want a judge or a jury to find UNIRock guilty of defamation, libel, and slander, just like I do for Katie Joy Paulson, because they are the quintessential defamation couple. that just feed off each other to defame people and lie about people and to grift. And I think that UNIRock is probably the absolute king of grifters when it comes to that, because he puts his PayPal in everything. Not even Katie Joy does that. But when it comes to UNIRock, it is all about the money. Don't think for a second that it's not. You see, this is the difference between UNIRock and Katie Joy. Katie Joy, it's about status. It's about clout. It's about her wanting to feed her malignant narcissism. Not with Uni. Yeah, sure, he's got a little bit of probably cluster B-type cluster personality traits, but with Uni, it's just he's just greedy. He wants that moolah for vape juice and for Red Bulls. And by the way, none of that is defamational. And if he wants to sue me, go for it, because I guarantee it. I can take it now. I have the ability to take a lawsuit all the way to the end. I didn't 2 years ago, but I certainly do now. So yeah, go ahead, sue me. And I mean that very sincerely. But you can't. There's nothing defamation for that. But I think that's what I think is happening. Again, that's just my supposition. We'll update that as time goes on. If I hear anything about it, if somebody gets a copy of this answers to the defendant and the motion for the summary judgment, please let me know. I mean, I suppose I probably could write to them and get it, but I just assume somebody did it first. I don't know. I don't know why they haven't yet. I mean, the court case is available. If you need the docket number, it's 23 Charlie Indio 000164, and you can just go to the court view for Ohio and find it. So it's not that difficult to find. Actually, for me though, somebody gave it to me. Somebody gave me the link to in the court case. But I'm saying once you have the link to the court case, it's super, super easy to find. So, all right, let's see what we got here in the live chat. I wasn't ignoring you all, I promise. Autistic, good to see you. Good to see you. Rarely, always a pleasure. Rarely really knows a lot about this stuff too with all this, to say the least. So I'm glad you're done driving. And if you want to jump on in, the link is in the live chat. Come on in. Erin is done. Okay. Yeah, I figured she'd done about now. I got another stream to do tonight. I know I need to do non sequitur, and I really want to. There's so many other things I want to talk about. And I don't know if I should push non sequitur to Sunday. I just keep feeling bad that I have to push non sequitur back. But it's on philosophy. So it's like one of those things like, people are going to watch it. Yeah, maybe 50 people, which is still, I don't care. I do it for me. And I really do want to do it. I just don't know what I want to stream about tonight. And plus, I've got some other things I got to take care of. And I still want to go out and get a little bit of sun before the sun goes down. I have to wait to at least after probably 3 o'clock, because the UV index here is like 11 to 13. And it was only about 108 today. So relatively cool. I got to about 118, I think, the other day. But I do not like to lay out at noon when you got a 13 UV index. It's when you're exposed to the most harmful ultraviolet radiation that damages your skin and damages your DNA. And I'm just not into that. So if you lay out when on more of a 4 or 6, you're far less likely to develop any kind of malignant melanoma and skin cancer or anything. So, all right, listen, we got here. April says he could totally lose his reputation as a reputable streamer. Nope, it's gonna say with a straight face. Yeah, like I said, April, I don't know. Like I said, I really am not gonna weigh in on this dude because I've never watched a single thing that he's ever put out. So I have no comment on that. TOD, Todd, hey, long time no see. How you been? Rarely says Menace's videos defending Jason shows JLR as a problematic was interesting. JLR can't be defamed further than he already is. I don't watch Menace. I think he's insane. Actually, I know he's insane. It's not a matter of belief. Menace is literally somebody who needs to go get severe mental health checkup. He needs to be evaluated. That dude is just not right in the brain. But did he have a video defending? I mean, it's no surprising that he's defending Jason. I mean, he's so far up Jason's rectum that he could lick his spleen. But what was Menace's inside information on this? Was it just Jason told him that, hey, this is my defense, that JLR is problematic, therefore he can't be suing him for defamation? Because that's stupid, and I can't imagine why his lawyer would go with that. I mean, if that's all they've got, that's all they've got, right? I mean, what's the old adage for the law? If you can't argue the facts, argue the law. Was it can't argue the facts, argue the law? If you can't argue the law, argue the facts, or something like that. If that's the best they've got, because I mean, what else is Jason's defense going to possibly be, anyways? When you sit there and you lie about somebody and you lie so willfully, there's not much you can really defend. I mean, Katie Joy has no defense, I think, whatsoever on many of these types of lawsuits she has. In the 7M case, she willfully lied. Unless she can show that, Robert Shin had waterboarded somebody or been involved in human trafficking, then she's going to be found liable for defamation. And I'm pretty sure that trial will go all the way to the end, and she will be losing significant 6 to 7 digits with the money, I believe. And as far as the Dion DeRico case, if he goes all the way, it probably won't be much more than the low six figure, 50,000, 100,000. He'll recoup legal cost and maybe a little bit more, but the point is people want to see it go to trial, to see it adjudicated. So finally, YouTubers like Katie Joy Paulson, aka Without a Crystal Ball, and UNIRock get served their justice that they have been willfully going out trying to harm people, and I mean that very sincerely. So that's a pretty silly excuse for a response to a legal case that hey, that person's already problematic, because Jason thinks everybody's problematic. I mean, he could just say that about anybody. Granted, obviously JLR is problematic. I mean, I think everybody would agree with that just from the limited amount of information I know about him. But that should be irrelevant. The dude is entitled to have a day in court, and he is entitled not to be defamed and lied about. So what you're saying, he's educated it up pretty much, probably. I mean, again, he does have an actual lawyer. He didn't file this pro se. And so, unlike, what's so funny, April, unlike Katie, at least UNIRock didn't reach out to the lawyer directly. I mean, Katie, from what I understand, and this supposedly comes directly from Dion, that she reached out to Dion DeRico's lawyer, and I don't know what the heck she could have said. I mean, what is she going to say? Oh, your client's a mean poopy head or something? I just don't know. So I think that was just absolutely silly. But of course, Katie thinks she's smarter than all attorneys out there, right? She thinks that she's a genius in every subject that she ever pontificates upon. Rarely says, I think if Jason fights this, he wins. If he lets it ride, he loses. Why would he win if he fights it? Under what legal precedence or law? And again, I don't even know what specifically he said about JLR off the top of my head. I really can't think of what it was. Maybe you can refresh my memory. And I really don't care, because I know that Jason has lied about so many other people. It's ridiculous. But why would he fight it and win? Now, do I think he's going to get a summary judgment? Do I think that Johnathan Lee would get a summary judgment? It really depends on the answer of the defendant, I think. If the answer of the defendant is so bad, that's basically, hey, this guy can't be defamed, the judge may say, you know what, that's just nothing to even be relevant in this case. So in that case, then a summary judgment would be filed. But they say, yeah, you know what, you can argue that and we'll let it go to trial. Then the summary judgment will be denied. And then Johnathan Lee would have to decide whether he wants to continue the case, if it's worth it to him or not. Because if he has to continue the case, it's going to be a lot more expensive. And that might be what their strategy is. That might be what Jason's attorney's strategy is that, hey, we just need to file something. And it could be really poor, but it might be sufficient where the judge just goes, okay, let's take this to trial. And in which case, Johnathan Lee Richards might just give up and say, okay, never mind. I don't know if he's known for that. He doesn't seem like the guy to back down from litigious things, and he has the resources to go after people. So I don't think he would just give up on it. I don't know. It depends on, again, what Jason has said about him. I just don't remember. So his conduct is as bad as you imagine to me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just know a little bit about him. What I do know about it, I don't even want to deal with. It's not my type of content, and I just, April, I have a very strong feelings towards certain things, and obviously lately I've been becoming a little more hardline in my center line. I seriously, it's not even the backfire effect. It's not an entrenchment effect at all. These are positions I've had pretty much most of my life. I just have got more justification and more evidence that a lot of people out there are dishonest actors, and all they want to do is throw hyperbole and negative rhetoric and pejoratives around rather than discuss the topics. And I'm just not really that much interested in that. And so when people come after me and they say I'm wrong, that's fine. Just show me where I'm wrong. Talk about it. Talk about it as a topic. If you want to talk about me, I'm not going to be interested and I won't watch it. But if you want to talk about the topic, then I'm always going to be able to at least try to have a civil conversation. But as of recently, I just recently had a civil conversation with somebody on Non Sequitur show, and then the very next day, I mean, people are messaging me left and right that this guy is just crapping all over me. I'm like, okay. And I told him, hey, look, you can talk to other people on the channel, because, you were in the video, so you have a right to discuss with them anything you want. Just leave me out of it. Don't talk to me. Don't mention me, and we'll be fine. I think that was a fair compromise. He, however, couldn't abide by that, and I still haven't blocked him from the channel yet, which I probably will, but I did block him on Twitter. But it just shows that there are dishonest, people out there, dishonest agents that are not capable to have a civil conversation, because even when they do, they're still being dishonest. Because if you have a conversation with me and everything goes great, and the very next day you just completely turn on me, then yeah, you're just not an honorable person. Mikey Cage, hey, how's it going, man? Says, damn it, Steve McCrae, I found a new creepypasta narrator. I was listening to a story that you just had to go and do it live. Damn you. Just kidding. You're way more interesting than fiction. Thank you. If you want a creepypasta narrator, man, I don't know. Do you know that creepy reading? I know that crappy reading. That crappy reading. I'm so sorry. Sorry, dude. Sorry, creepy reading. No, that creepy reading is great. it was a Freudian slip. I'm sorry. He's not crappy. But he'll get a kick out of that. But the creepy reading, I think he has 200, 300,000 subs or something like that. But he does that, and he's really a nice guy. We've had many correspondences back and forth because he did a little segment on the Non Sequitur show way back when. So April says, the only way I can describe his content is comparing it to Storage Wars, but just the parts before and after the commercials, but without the show part. Oh, interesting. I do remember that show when it was all staged. It's like, oh, I bought this storage shed for $1,000. Oh my God, there's $10,000 worth of gold bullion in here. Look at these doubloons in here. Oh my God, I found a Picasso, a long lost Rembrandt. It's like, come on. Yeah. What was the name of that? Was it Rembrandt? The one with the ship on it? The ship that was lost forever. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can see it in my head, but it's a picture, I believe, by Rembrandt that was been lost for like ages on end. I think it was called The Storm of the Sea of Galilee. And it was like missing and still missing from this day. The storm on the Sea of Galilee. So you go to you open the storage ward and say, I paid $300 for this storage unit, and damn gummit, I need to get my money back. What's this? The storm on the Sea of Galilee. Oh my God, it's worth, I don't know how many million it is. I have no idea, but it's worth a lot of money probably. It's all filler, hype, and teasers with no substance. Oh, basically, so kind of what UNIRock does. Like I said, I've never watched the guy, and I probably won't ever attend to. But yeah, isn't that what UNIRock does though? I mean, UNIRock is all hype and teasers. I mean, look what happened with Queen Bee. That was all a teaser to try to get people to drive over to his channel, and it was complete BS. That I'm surprised. He didn't get sued for. In some ways, because he caused emotion distress to Queen Bee, that he had said that JLR had mentioned Queen Bee in the threat. He called it a threat to his mom, and it was just a cease and desist. And so for him to blow it out of proportion, to say a cease and desist was a threat, and that his mom was so scared, and then trying to get Queen Bee. Oh my God, Queen Bee, I got to get in touch with you. You mentioned in this cease and desist, which it technically did, only it was just her name in the video title. It was one of UNIRock's videos, and Queen Bee's name was just mentioned, and that's all it was. So hype and teasers, right? It is also about Uni. That was my comparison. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. By how they kind of like know each other, because again, I would have never heard of this guy until Uni. But anyways, that's my take in a nutshell. My hot take. I know Veda is going to be streaming here, so if you guys want to go check out Veda's channel, hopefully she'll put a shout out to me. The little peon Steve way back in the corner over here. Throw me a bone, Veda. Throw me a bone. She's been, I think, planning to move on from the Moran case, and I applaud her for that. I think that case has ran its course. I think that story has ran its course. I think the family should grieve and be left alone. I think she's planning to do one final thing, and then move on to some other things, which I think is great. So, anyways, that is my live for this particular episode. If you think that I've got my hypothesis right, let me know. If you think I've got it wrong, let me know. We'll revisit on it. And then I think tonight I'll be streaming more. My roommate's out of the house for a while, and so I have the place to myself to be nice and quiet and stream. I may stream on Sequitur tonight at 5, but if I don't, I will move it to Sunday, April, but I'll do that very, very soon so you can at least see. But if I do stream tonight, it's going to be part 2 of what I think Dion DeRico should know about Katie Joy. I just think that that's a little more relevant topically right now. It's the lesser of the two that I'd like to talk about. I really would like to talk about philosophy, obviously, more. But I think that topically, this going on with the Dion DeRico from Doubling Down the DeRicos is probably a little more contemporary and topical. I will be covering a lot of that on this particular channel. So if you like that content, please like and subscribe. I will be covering the UNIRock lawsuit. I'll be covering the Katie Joy lawsuits. I will not be covering the shows that they cover because I just have no interest in them. I don't watch them. I've never seen the Dion DeRico a show. I'm sure it's very funny. He seems like a very great guy, very loving family, and I wish him all the best. And I know he has a lot of support. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I will be talking about other subjects on this this channel as well. It's going to be more topical stuff. I will be probably pissing off a lot of people, and if people wanted to unsubscribe and call me a mean poopy head, by all means, because I'm going to be basically running the position that you have 4 options. You can, like on Twitter, you can unfollow me, you can mute me, you can block me, and you can ignore me. And if you can't decide, I'll probably do it for you. But I'm just not interested in dealing with certain things and certain people and certain dishonest people. And I have no need to. I'm not here for the subs or the subscribers. I've lost, a lot of subscribers. I've lost a lot of Twitter subscribers too. Now, a lot of the ones on YouTube were purging. They're just it was just like, for some reason, YouTube is just every so often we'll get a lot of dead accounts, because I haven't noticed any changes in my analytics whatsoever, but except for the sub count. But I don't care if somebody doesn't want to watch. I want the people that do want to watch, and so I'm going to be focusing more on that rather than catering to certain people because they want me to believe what they want me to believe. I've also taken a little more hardline when it comes to religion. I've also taken a little more hardline when it comes to ideologies and when it comes to indoctrination of children. I still am agnostic. I haven't crossed that line over to atheism yet. However, I am obviously leaning that way. I do appreciate a lot of things in Satanism, so I say that I tend to Satanism, not that I'm a Satanist, but I do like a lot of the tenets that they have, and I like the fact they're giving a lot of pushback to religion. But that doesn't mean that I denounce people that are Christian. I welcome all faiths. If you're a Christian, I'd love to talk to you. If you're a young Earth creationist, I'd love to talk to you. There's some people that have been recommended to me that I will be reaching out to. I already reached out to a few to have discussions with. There's a person who's a Christian fundamentalist, young Earth creationist that I'll probably have on very shortly. I just don't know if I want to do it on this channel or the Non Sequitur show. And so that's pretty much the direction I'm going to be taking this particular channel, because it's my personal channel. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. My Patreon is still there. My members are still there. I'm going to be putting out content, but that's pretty much, I think, what I'm going to be doing. If it's not of interest to you, then look, there's a million other channels, but I will be promoting other channels as well. Like, for example, in the video description, I got Nikki's channel, I got EKC's channel, I got Renelle's channel, and I want to support those channels that have supported me and support those channels that I think put out good content, that honest content. And clearly, Renelle, far and away is, I think, one of the most objectively honest YouTubers out there on any of this stuff. I love EKC stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. Here's a little more sarcastic and biting and witted, and I love that. But when it comes to like just fair, objective commentary, Renelle really probably can't be beat. And I think EKC would probably agree with me 100% on that. And of course, Veda, she's been, trying to expose like nonsense for her BS. And I applaud her for that. I just don't deal a lot with nonsense because there's nothing of relevance with her. I have I have nothing with her. She did obviously lie and say that I emailed her and I was harassing her. That was blatantly a lie. I've never emailed the woman in life. And so for her to try to pull a Katie Joy and misuse me too, yeah, sure, I could harp on that forever, but who the hell cares? People know she's dishonest at this point, and I'll let Veda worry about that. I can only attack so many angles at once. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Autistic, thank you for putting my PayPal, my Patreon. All that money that I do get from, you don't need to do the GoFundMe anymore. Yes, I would love to recoup from that. Don't get me wrong. I spent $10,000 trying to sue Katie and only recouped about $4.5. So I am short for $5,000 on that. However, it is what it is. I took a chance. I wanted to sue her. I stand by everything. I got sufficient information from her to at least demonstrate that she was lying. Clearly, I went over that with you guys the other night on a stream, showing that, without a question, that without a crystal ball, completely fabricated everything about me. So you don't really need to GoFundMe any longer, Autistic. But the PayPal, sure. Most people, PayPal's fine. The PayPal, I'll tell you, what I'd use PayPal for is basically Amazon stuff and pizza or something like that. So PayPal is basically my fun money stuff. I'll put like $50 in there every so often if I need to send money to Kano, like give her money for the movies or something like that, or give her money for like if she's going to go shopping. I'll do it on my PayPal. So yeah, PayPal's fine. And Patreon is always, I think, the best. I love my Patreon because those are the people that really, I think, like the content and support me as a person. Not saying that the others aren't great too, but I'm just a big fan of Patreon. So if you want to be a Patreon, that's great too, and also member benefits as well, which is basically just me getting back to you instantly. If you're a member of my channel and or Patreon or like that, I try to respond to you instantly if I'm online. If I see it come up, I will respond to you. If you message me and I don't respond to you within about 5-10 minutes, I am probably away from keyboard. Okay, people know that about me. If you've ever messaged me, you know how fast you get a response, right? So 8%. I'm starting a uni. Go F yourself. So I'm trying to keep my videos not from getting demonetized right away. Every single one of my videos has been demonetized lately. And again, it's only a few dollars, but it's a point. It's a principle to me, and every little bit helps. I'm frugal. People know that. But I'm just going to say that, like I said, all the people that donate through the Patreon, PayPal, or memberships, all that goes to me going out to eat, buying beer, entertainment, dating. So I'm so frugal in life. I don't buy anything for myself. I don't. But I recently said, you know what? Last week, life is short. I'm going to get me some things that I really want, even though I probably don't necessarily need them, and they're not very expensive stuff. I'm talking about $35 items. Okay, that's how frugal I really am. I don't ever go out and spend like $100-$200 on anything. Even my laptop, I paid $90 for. I got a good deal. It was normally about $200, and it's just a little word processor. But I bought this amazing flashlight, and I do use it for personal defense because I had an older one, but I bought this better one, and this thing's a beast, and I'll show it to you next stream because I'll be going on camera probably. And this thing is a monster. And so, yeah. So just letting you guys know that, yes, anything you donate to the channel on Super Chats or PayPal or anything like that, this goes to entertainment. And I appreciate that. I really do. So, all right. Thank you, Autistic. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Go check out Veda's channel, and I will see you later on tonight after she's probably done it sometime. So with that, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and please share my videos. Good night.